Alrighty, guys. Good afternoon to you all. Happy Thursday, January 16th, 2025. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Enjoying that warm temperature trend that we're seeing between today and tomorrow before things get extremely cold. We're going to talk about a couple things today. We're going to talk about one, the cold air, the extreme cold air, probably some of the coldest air we've seen in many years across portions of the Deep South, in the Ohio Valley, in the northern Midwest, upper Midwest, pretty much all of the United States. Once again, with the exception of the West Coast, is going to be mostly below average over the next 6 to 10 days here before we start to see a little bit of a difference in change. Now, we've been talking about the chance for a winter storm as well over the last couple of days, and right now, the models are very iffy. We've had more model runs now showing not anything and just very cold, dry air for much of next week, and then maybe a late chance at a winter storm somewhere. And then you've got the Euro, the Canadian, and some of these other models that are still bringing in that chance for a winter storm down in the southeast. So with that being said, we are still right at 5 to 6 days from this event more than likely happening. A lot of confidence still that we could see something, a lot of confidence still that we couldn't see something. So we're kind of 50-50 on what's going to actually happen with this event, and only time will tell that. So as we give these forecasts, as we kind of talk about this, remember, things are going to change for the good or for the worse of things. And so we'll keep you guys updated on that. Also, we will have live streams every single day going forward, as we always do. We'll be posting every single day, as we always do. So make sure you guys share this out and like this video as well. I do appreciate it. So let's go ahead and talk about the cold that we're seeing. You guys have seen this map. I've started most of my videos out this week with this map because it's the biggest story. The historic cold air that we're going to be seeing, and all of these dark blue, light blue, and very light-ish bluish colors here are what we call below average temps. So you're looking at this map basically from the northwestern Pacific all the way down here through the desert areas and into the central plains, basically pretty much all of the United States in that below average trend for the next 6 to 10 days, with the exception of California and western Nevada there in that kind of ridging warm sector. So when you get this northwesterly flow that sets up over Canada or comes down out of Canada, you typically have a ridge on the left quadrant, the southwestern quadrant of that trough, and that allows for warm air to build up underneath that, basically causing a ridge. So we're going to see that cold air come down. Anybody in that very dark blue area from the northeast down here into the Ohio Valley and into the southeast, we're expecting 90% chance of, or 80 to 90% chance of below average temperatures. And then outside of that, it goes a little bit lesser, but we're going to see that cold air in place. We know that's going to be a given there. So I wanted to start out with that. Let's talk about our troughing. We're going to talk about the pattern. We'll talk about the Euro, the GFS, and the Canadian real quickly here. And once again, this is our flow. We're still seeing a northwesterly flow. We've had this in effect for at least 5 to 7 days now. And we're going to see this upper level low that's going to basically move down starting on Saturday, bringing in with a cold front. We're going to see a low pressure system that's going to merge across the Texas area this week, and basically, or this weekend, and allow for a rain mix-ish, rain snowish mix into Tennessee and the Carolinas and up into the Mid-Atlantic, and just thunderstorms and general rain showers for the southeast. So no, not expecting really any significant weather as far as the rain, and then a little bit of snow accumulations up here in the Ohio Valley. Could see 1 to 3 to 5 inches along the Great Lakes up there, and then Ohio, PA, West Virginia, those higher Appalachian mountains could see a good chance of snow with that. But continuing to see that northwesterly flow, there is a little ridge that has developed underneath of this trough, which is going to allow for a little surge and warm air today and tomorrow. So most of you guys in the United States will be pretty decently quiet and warm over the next 2 days, and then that trough ejects on Friday night into Saturday, and we've got what's called a subtropical wave that's sitting down here over basically Texas and Louisiana, and then here comes our cold blast of air. Once this northwesterly flow sets up, you get a vertical jet stream that brings that cold air out of Canada. There will be a low that's tangled up in here, which will be bringing rain showers and storms to the Ohio Valley, and then, like I said, snow up towards the northeastern portions of the Ohio Valley. And then as we go into Sunday and Monday, we are in full Arctic blast mode, as that jet stream is pretty much rounded around the whole entire central and eastern half of the United States. We've got to probably have a pretty gusty wind day over here along the East Coast as well as we go into Sunday. Typically, when you have that southeastern quadrant where that trough ejects, you can get some gusty winds. So we'll watch out for that. Believe it or not, the GFS model still really does not like the idea of a winter storm next week. It's got, potentially maybe something in the lower Ohio Valley late next week, but that's over, 7 days out. We'll watch that and see what that does. The European model and the Canadian model are the only two models right now that really are intact with a winter storm as of right now. Now, that can change for the better, for the worse of things, as I said earlier. This is our low that we're going to be watching. And basically what happens is this is a really weak low that the American GFS model has, and it basically just gets swallowed up by this trough. And because of the fact that we're having so much cold, dry air that's aloft in the upper levels, the mid levels, and the lower levels of the atmosphere, that's going to allow that precip and that moisture to basically be condensed and confined to the Gulf of Mexico. So therefore, we are not going to see really any precip. And like I said, we're going to continue to see that cold air all the way through next week into the weekend, and then we maybe start to see a difference as we go towards the first week of February. But I think we're going to be locked in this pattern for the next 2 weeks, where we're going to continue to see this Canadian air that's going to be in place over much of the United States. Now, as I told you guys about this here, we'll go to our preset model here, and this kind of shows you guys what we're going to be seeing with, where's the snow, where we could see some rain. Now, remember, these are model runs, so take this with a grain of salt, please. Pretty confident that we're going to have, like I said, an Ohio lake effect snow event, and then we'll have some sleet, some snow showers ongoing into Saturday and Sunday across the northern portions of the Ohio Valley. So Ohio, Eastern Kentucky, West Virginia, PA, up towards the Great Lakes up there towards like Buffalo, Erie area. You could see some lake effect snow, and then just general snow showers that could accumulate up here with this. Low pressure off of the Ozarks in Texas and Oklahoma here, bringing some rain and thunderstorms to portions of the southeast. Nothing crazy expected with that. And then as we go through the weekend there, you'll see that low deepen. There'll be some scattered snow showers up, like I said, in the northeast and Ohio Valley. And then we start to see a little push in some moisture that tries to get going with that low. But like I said earlier, the American model just really not intact with the idea of a winter storm next week. So that can change in favor of the Euro, or it can have other models trend towards it. Like I said, we'll have to wait and see. Time will tell. But you can see the massive Arctic outbreak that we're going to have next week. This is very, very, very cold air, guys. We're going to have feels like temperatures up here into the higher portions of the northern plains that are 30, 40, and 50 below feel like temperatures. Those are feels like. So the actual temperatures will probably be -10, -20 up here in the higher portions of the northern plains. And then down here into the Ozarks, Ohio Valley, and the central plains will be right at 20s, single digits, and some teens. Maybe some people will be at 0 degrees. And then down here into Texas, Louisiana, and the southeast will be in the 20s. 30s. So not excruciating unless you live up north, but you guys are pretty much used to that. So at least that's what I've heard from a lot of people. And then we get towards Monday and Tuesday, where we try to develop here on the European model a winter storm. The models have gone back and forth with this, putting snow over Texas, Louisiana. I think if we're confident on anything next week, it's the chance for snow showers to fall, maybe a sleet, freezing rain mix somewhere along Interstate 10, potentially still very, very undecided at this point. But the idea that we could see a winter storm in the deep southeast next week is definitely possible, still on the table. I think we're still kind of in that 50 to 60% range of confidence on that. Now, that can go up and that can go down. Also, guys, I want to let y'all see something on this. The Euro model has really liked the idea of snow showers as far as like Jacksonville, Florida. So people that are in the Florida Panhandle, be very mindful. You guys could see, you'll see rain if you're in Central Florida more than likely, but we could have an ice, sleet, snow mix changeover in the Florida Panhandle. So that could be basically Pensacola all the way east to Jacksonville. So along that Interstate 10 corridor. So if you are traveling next week, just be mindful that we could have a winter storm potentially. And then that would go up the East Coast, and then that thing is out of here. And then we get another shot of cold air, maybe another winter storm following that late next week. But that's what the Euro suggests. We'll go to the GFS model run. And like I said, the GFS model here really doesn't like the idea of anything. It's got our little clipper system moving through on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then we go through next week and we keep that moisture. You can see the moisture tries to basically develop down here in the Gulf, but the high pressure that is up here in the northern and central plains is basically allowing for that cold air to push that moisture south and allow for really not much of anything to happen. And like I said, the GFS model can change over time. We'll just have to see what happens. And then we could even see maybe the GFS is liking the idea of an Ohio and Ozark winter storm next week as well. So that's, 10 days out. We'll watch that and see what that does. And past that point, we get into that uncertainty realm on what's going to happen. Also, looking at the Canadian model here as well, this one's another one that's been pretty consistent with the idea of a winter storm. The Canadian model really likes the idea of a winter storm setup in majority of the southeast, sleet, rain, snow, etc. So we'll have to watch this as well. But I wanted to show you guys all three. We'll go over the ensembles as well in the live stream today. But like I said, I just wanted to kind of show you guys all three scenarios here, kind of worst, middle, and then low end scenario of anything, at least as we see of things as of right now. Now, one more thing I want to talk to you guys about is going to be those temperatures, as we were talking about at the beginning of the video here. And you can see the next 48 hours here, we're going to be pretty warm for most people in the central plains. We are going to have some 60s and some upper 60s and some 50s and some 40s stretching as far as the northern Ohio Valley and the Midwest. Enjoy those, because here comes our Arctic blast that will be crashing in Friday night into Saturday for portions of the Midwest, the Central Plains, and into the Ohio Valley. By Sunday morning, we're waking up into the 30s for mostly every single person, even getting down here in the deep south. So we'll still have that front kind of lagged towards the beaches along the East Coast here. But then once Monday gets here, that cold air officially pushes down, and we're sub 32 degrees for mostly everybody, with the exception of southwestern California and south and central Florida. So, and you can even see on the map here, these are, air temperatures, not feels like. We can see well below 0 temps for portions of the Ohio Valley, up into the northern plains, up towards Minnesota, or not Minnesota, but Montana, Wyoming. And then we'll have an area of 20s and teens for much of the deep south. So make sure your pipes are not frozen. Make sure you are checking that stuff today and tomorrow, as I advise. Check your gutters, check everything that you need. Make sure you have a generator in case you lose power for whatever reason. But make sure you have everything checked today and tomorrow are going to be the ways to do that. And then, like I said, going all every day through next week, guys, most people are not going to get above 32 degrees until probably Thursday or Friday of next week. And then past that point, like I said, we're getting into that uncertainty realm. Could we see another Arctic blast come down out of this? Potentially. We'll just have to wait and see. So, I will keep you guys updated. We'll have a live stream here in just a little bit. We'll have another video tomorrow as well. Be safe, guys. Be weather aware. And I'll see you guys in the next one.